Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj. Today I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for some more fights off of UFC 270. These are not in order. Be sure to check out the video I did last night, which are also fights that are not in order, but I do believe these are all prelim fights. Yeah. So we'll say UFC 270 prelim fights. Last night I did 4 fights last night I covered. One of them happened to be a main card fight, so I messed that all up. But anyway, be sure to check that out. And it is late. This is my Tuesdays and Thursdays. My wife has online classes, so I can't be doing videos in here when she's doing online class. So that's why it's a little late, but and I have to do this kind of quick because tomorrow I'm going back to Boston for work. So tomorrow's show will probably be out of a hotel room. If I get to it, we'll see how the day goes. Anyway, we're gonna open up this show with the female flyweight fight between Jasmine Jasudavicius, I think that's how you say her name. I'm not 100% sure. And she's taking on Hansen. Jasudavicius, we're just going to refer to as Jasmine, is coming in as the 2-1 underdog here. Plus 205. She has a record of 6-1. And she's taking on the 7-4 Hansen, who is the 2-1 favorite, almost 2.5 to 1, a minus 240. She was at time minus 255. The line has since moved down to 240. And these are fresh off of Bet Online. I just looked them up. So I would say they're pretty accurate at the time of the filming of this video. The over 2.5 rounds, of course, is set at 270. Female fights usually, for the most part, they go to distance. Let's start talking about the favorite first. She is 10 years younger, Hansen, a young 22 years old. Jasmine is Jazzy Jazz. She should get a nickname, Jazzy Jazz. But anyway, she's 32. Hansen is coming off a loss to Corey McKenna, but Corey McKenna is a strong prospect. I was gonna actually take her on the my little unranked contest, my unranked contender contest. During the 4-week break, we did this contest, and I was gonna take Corey McKenna, but nonetheless, Hansen is coming off that loss. Before that, though, in her UFC debut, she had an impressive win against Genaro, but it really wasn't impressive because she was losing the entire fight until she caught her in a triangle armbar in round 3. But before that, I think Genaro was winning on the scorecards. But regardless, Hansen is 3-2 in her last 5. Thing is, here she is coming up a weight class. She's usually fights at strawweight, but this is a flyweight fight, 125. So Hansen coming up from 115 to 125, taking on a much bigger female in Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine, from what Fight Night Picks guys say, she discovered fighting off a Tinder date where she went on a Tinder date and she met her coach/boyfriend, and I guess he's a fighter. I forgot. They mentioned his name. I forgot what it was, though. He's not that. I've never heard of him before. But anyway, she was like, wow, this is a cool stuff. But it's not like she's brand spanking new to fighting because she has silver medal for Canada in freestyle wrestling. Women's freestyle wrestling. She's an Olympic silver medalist. That shows she does know a little bit about wrestling. You know, you can't just sign up for that. You have to, and silver medals in the Olympics, which means the worldwide. She's the second best in her weight class in freestyle wrestling that whenever she was participating in the Olympics. However, Jasmine is only a BJJ blue belt, which that gives me a little bit of, I don't know, blue belt, that's just only a notch above white belt. So she's still very new to the BJJ game, and she's new to the fight game. But she's 6-1. Her only loss was a split decision to Elise Reed. That was in Cage Fury FC. And she got a huge, like I said, she's the natural flyweight, and she's got 5-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage over Kay Hansen, who's coming up a weight class. I don't know why she decided to do that, but good on you. Kay Hansen, you know, she went against my favorite female fighter right now, Erin Blanchfield. She lost. That was during Invicta. I think they were both under 20. I think that was when she was like 19, and Erin Blanchfield, I believe, was the same. I think Erin Blanchfield even might be like 6 months or a year younger than Kay Hansen. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%, but I know Erin Blanchfield's very young. I think she might be even younger than Kay Hansen here. But she lost to Erin Blanchfield, but Erin Blanchfield just blanched Miranda Maverick couple, like, was it during 269 maybe? So you can't take much off that loss. So Kay Hansen, with the UFC experience, coming up a weight class, taking on a BJJ blue belt, but that blue belt is a silver medalist in freestyle wrestling. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. And here's the clicker though. Jasmine, a plus 205 underdog. And she's got the 5-inch height, 5-inch reach, and most likely the weight advantage too when it comes time to weigh-ins. So, I'm going to have to put it up to, by the way, Jasmine, she was, according to Tapologies, has her training out of Niagara Top Team. She is no longer there. She is now switched to Syndicate MMA. Look out. Because you know why? Syndicate MMA is loaded with killer female fighters. Let's see. We got JoJo Calderwood, JoJo Wood, whatever. She got married to one of her coaches over there at Syndicate. Alexa Connors, Emily Whitmire, and Roxanne Modafferi. You guys all know Roxanne Modafferi. She's like a legend now. Matter of fact, Roxanne Modafferi's fighting February 12th against Casey King O'Neill. R.I.P. Roxanne. I'm sorry for that. I love you, Roxanne, but you're probably going to lose to Casey O'Neill on February 12th. But nonetheless, that shows Jasmine, you got to think her BJJ game is increasing, because Roxanne, her base is BJJ, and she's a very active grappling competitor. She's always in grappling contests. All the time. Look at her Tapology. It's loaded with I think she's got more grappling fights than she does MMA fights, and she's loaded with MMA fights. I'm just saying, I think Jasmine, that move to Syndicate MMA was a very good move. Kay Hansen fights out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, but not the main one with Eddie Bravo. It's the 10th Planet in Buena Park. And on Tapology, there's only like two fighters listed on when you open up Tapology for 10th Planet Buena Park. You know, 10th Planet has like 40 locations nationwide or worldwide or something, internationally. But I think for real, they got like 35 of them are nationwide. I know right in the Northeast, I pulled up the map quick, and there was like 10 of them. Like 5 in New York and then surrounding areas. It was crazy. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is a franchise for sure. So, but Kay Hansen, she's out of the one in Buena Park, which is not the active one where a lot of other pros are fighting at. Where Jasmine, Syndicate MMA, JoJo Wood, you know, Alexa Connors, Emily Whitmire, and Roxanne Modafferi, all on that list on Tapology fighting out of Syndicate. So keep that in mind, okay? So, and Jasmine is a Canadian. Like I said, that silver medalist was from Canada. She is a Canadian. Let's start with the favorite here. See what the cappers have to say. Taking Kay Hansen, we've got Burt MMA. This young gentleman, always very active capper. Always puts his stuff out early. Covers everything. Covers Bellator. Covers Ryzen. Covers anything he can. Very active. I like Burt. He's saying Kay Hansen should get the decision. Then we have Pub Sports Radio. Both of these guys are actually Clint, Diehard MMA podcast from Pub Sports Radio. Always has guests on. This week he had, coincidentally, I just used them last night, but I guess they're going to double your pleasure. We got the Allen Brothers Fight Night Picks were his guest. And Fight Night Picks are Canadian, yet they're going against the Canadian. And they're both, everybody, Clint, I'll write it, Clint and Fight Night Picks, the Allen Brothers, all taken Kay Hansen in this because of Jasmine's blue belt. They think Kay Hansen, get it on the ground, she's got the advantage. But does Kay Hansen have a silver medal in wrestling? No, she doesn't. I'll tell you right now, she doesn't. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. She might. I doubt it. But she does know her ground game, especially if she can go to was a split decision loss with Erin Blanchfield and Invicta. So yeah, it was actually a majority decision loss. So that means it was like one of the judges put it as a tie, as a draw. Anyway. Then we've got MMA Jedi. You may know him by other names, but he doesn't like when I use his old names, so I won't. MMA Jedi, he's taking Hansen by sub, which is a very smart pick considering that Jasmine only has a blue belt. But you gotta imagine, Syndicate, she's gotta be training with these BJJ killers, these BJJ black belts. Roxanne Modafferi, you might not like her because she's a nerd, she's got the glasses, and she's old, and she's been in the fight game forever. But she is a legit black belt. Like I said, she's always competing grappling. And I guarantee Jasmine, because she's a bit, like, Roxanne's a bigger girl, too. She's, like, tall. So, Jasmine, that would be, be smart to be grappling, doing some BJJ with Roxanne over at Syndicate. And I don't know if that's what's happening, but it would be a smart bet for her. Then we've got taken Jasmine. It's not a full Capra consensus like you would think, being the minus 240 favorite. We've got the MMA Guru. That's the one with the knit cap from the UK. Taking Jasmine because of the height and reach and weight, will be the bigger girl. And Guru thinks stand up on the feet. She has better striking than Kay Hansen, and she knows how to play the distance game, and 5 inches is quite a bit. That's 2.5 on each fist, and she's 5 inches taller, meaning Hansen's got to overcome that tail of the tape obstacle there. But Hansen does have the age, 10 years. If you think that's an advantage, I really don't. I think females can fight. Look at Lauren Murphy. She's 38. She's still competing at a high level. So I don't think the age is really a factor as much it is for male UFC. But regardless, we've got Guru is taking Jasmine. And finally, we've got Leighton from UFC Gambling Addicts, also taking the bigger female here in Jasmine, Jasudavicius, which is, I love that pick. And don't get me wrong, I really do like Kay Hansen here, but at plus money, that's right, get that Trapanese back on. At plus money, with the height, moving up a weight class, 5-inch height, 5-inch reach, silver medalist in freestyle wrestling. That's Olympic silver medalist. Over at Syndicate MMA with a flock of girls that can increase her jiu-jitsu game. Plus 205, plus money junkies in the house. We're going to go with Jasmine to get the victory here. I think she's going to outstrike her, be smart enough to defend these takedowns from the smaller Hansen. That's her path to victory, is to get it to the ground, because she is a BJJ blue belt. But I'm telling you, this girl is going to come in prepared. She's 10 years older, so wisdom and age equals wisdom. That's what a lot of people say that. So I think she's going to get the decision over K. Hansen here at plus money, plus 205. A lot of these cappers like, stay away from female betting. Fuck that, dude. Bet it. 205, double your money. Moving on. Next, we've got, talk about wrestlers. Whew. Tony Gravely taking on the UFC newcomer, Contender Series guy, Saimon Oliveira. Okay, both these guys, dead ass in age, both of them 30 years old. Oliveira is the 2-1 underdog, plus 205, 18-3. Tony Gravely, minus 240, with a record of 21-7. Tony Gravely is coming off a crap loss to Nate Maness, whatever you want to call him, which I don't agree with that loss. I don't think he should have won. I mean, it was a very, very close fight. He lost, but no, he did. He lost by TKO round 2. So I guess it didn't go to decision. So I guess he lost for sure. But he did make it competitive. It was closer than it seems. Before that, he has a win against Anthony Burchak. He won by hammer fist in round 2. Tony Gravely is an accomplished wrestler. He's a 3-time All-American, high school All-American, 2-time Virginia State champ. He went 2 seasons undefeated his junior and senior year. Then he wrestled, he went to the NCAA D division, Division 1? Appalachian State. He's a finalist at Appalachian State NCAA wrestling, and he trains at American Top Team. Tony Gravely, come on. He's a rightful minus 240 favorite here. But don't sleep on Saimon Oliveira, because he is 5-0 in his last 5. He does have experience over in Japan and Pancrase. He's traveled. He's fought in England on their regional scene called MTK, and he's been in regional scenes in Brazil called Cesario and ACB. He trains at the Astra Fight Team that is in Brazil. He's got a 1-inch height advantage, which ain't nothing. But the dude is like, he's streaking right now. He's hot. He's coming off a Contender Series win against Jose Alday. Not Aldo, Alday. Jose Alday, okay? Yeah, Jose Alday, come on, really? But Saimon Oliveira, I don't really know much about him, except that he's coming off that Contender Series win. 18-3, that's, I guess, respectable record. But some of these people are saying he's got what it takes to beat Tony Gravely, because Tony Gravely, coming off that loss to Nate Maness, not a good look for him. But let's see what the cappers have to say in regards to this. By the way, Tony Gravely does have a 2-inch reach advantage. Oliveira, I think, like, there's a difference between wrestling and BJJ. Oliveira, I think he's a black belt, and I think he's probably better when it comes to... I know if you look at his Tapology record, he's got a lot of wins by submission. I mean, that last one, that was split decision, though, Contender Series, which is... I've said it once, said it before, Contender Series is like a hyped up regional scene. You know what I mean? It's like the regional scene championships. It's like, I don't know. But anyway, Oliveira does have a good submission game. But Gravely, like I said, he's 3-time All-American wrestler in high school and a 2-time NCAA D1 finalist. So when it comes to wrestling, Tony Gravely definitely has the wrestling advantage. But BJJ, he gets... Like, if he goes in for that double leg, he's putting his neck out there for guillotine. And Saimon Oliveira, if he watches tape, he can notice that. And I know Tony Gravely's got caught in a guillotine. He's got caught because he'll go in for a double leg. But if he plays it smart, he's not going to go for a double leg. He'll go for the single leg with a drag step. Drag step, you're not going to put your neck out there. A double leg, you're putting your neck out as a target. So it's going to get scooped up and choked. But a single leg, you're drag stepping, so you're coming chest first with your head straight up as you're down. on one knee. It's a drag step. They learn it's like wrestling 101. You learn it when you first take wrestling. It's like the first thing you learn is how to do a drag step to get a single leg takedown. He can do that, or he can go for upper body throws and stuff, or inside leg trips, whatever. There's a ton of wrestling takedowns. Hopefully Tony Gravely just stays away from that double leg, because that is suspect to get caught for a guillotine. Let's see what the cappers have to say in this one. We've got MMA Jedi. He's saying Gravely should get a KO in round 2. Good on you, Jedi. Naming the method and round. That's plus money right there. Pub Sports Radio, Fight Night Picks, and Clint all over Tony Gravely. Clint and Matt and Craig Allen. Matt Allen, man, even during the Die Hard MMA podcast, almost every fight they broke down, he'd made an analogy to basketball. It's always all like, here we go again with another basketball analogy. He always compares the fighter to like some basketball player. If you're not a basketball fan, you don't know what the hell he's talking about. But anyway, I still like the guys. I like the Allen brothers. It was a fantastic show. I watched every minute of it. And I saw like a lot of my buddies in the chat. Mbe, I saw you in the chat. I participated a little bit. I was doing these notes at the same time, so I don't really participate too much, but once in a while they'll catch my ear and I'll throw in a little statement. Clint gladly puts it up there. I love it. Fantastic show, the Clint Die Hard MMA podcast. Anyway, then we've got Bert also taking Tony Gravely. He thinks it's going to happen by decision. And MMA Guru also saying Gravely should get the decision here. However, this is not a full capper consensus, because we have UFC gambling addicts. Leighton is taking Saimon Oliveira. He notices there's holes in Tony Gravely's game, which is right. He does make a valid point. He does have holes. You can't just this is MMA, mixed martial arts. You can't just wrestle your way to victories all the time. Sure, wrestling is a good base, but you also have to mix it in with a little submission, grappling, BJJ. Wrestling, you're not supposed to be on your back. I remember, because I transitioned from wrestling to BJJ throughout my little short stint in MMA, and I remember that was my weakest part, is trying to do submissions off my back. But now I can throw up some triangles and rubber guards and all that good stuff, and I can do some stuff off my back now. But I'm just saying, he finds there's holes in Gravely's game, and Oliveira at 2-1 odds is worth the value. And like I said, Leighton, he doesn't even read the odds. He just sees the fights and he guesses the odds before, and then he's always like stunned, like, oh my goodness, Gravely is a -240, Oliveira's +205. Definitely, it's worth the gamble. He is a gambling addict, so take that for what you will. If you can't tell by my hip breakdown here, I'm going with the wrestling credentials here of Tony Gravely. I think he should be able to get it done. The method is tough. I don't know if, I guess Oliveira does have better BJJ, but Gravely's got better wrestling, so I think Gravely can be able to wet blanket, get a lot of control time on the ground, and I think he might be equal or better at stand-up and striking, so I'll hand it to him there. I think he's going to get the decision. I think the judges are going to see how he's outperforming and better, well-rounded than the UFC newcomer. I tend to fade Contender Series guys often anyway, unless there's something special, like Slava Claus last week. He's the only one I took, and he was the only new UFC debutant I took, and he was the only one that came through. I faded all the rest. I might do the same on this card, but I don't know about that when it gets to that Michael Morales. I don't know. I still got to do a little, but that's for tomorrow. And I don't know about this one either. We'll see. Right now, undefeated. Moving on. Next, we've got the lightweight fight between Matt, the Steamroller Frevola, and Gennaro El Rayadito Valdez. Gennaro Valdez El Rayadito. I'm not sure what that means. I tried to look it up and it just translated to Rayadito, which still I don't know what the definition. I don't know what that means. But anyway, Gennaro Valdez is undefeated. He's coming off a win against Patrick White in the Contender Series. Knocked him out TKO round 2. I guess before that knockout, though, Patrick White was winning. Interesting fact I learned from late, and Patrick White came into that fight, forgot his mouthpiece, forgot his cup. It was a big to-do. He had to send people back and to go get those things. It was like and there's Gennaro Valdez waiting in the octagon because Patrick White, opportunity fight of his life, and he's gonna forget his cup and his mouthpiece. Unreal. But Gennaro Valdez is he's known throughout the Mexican regional scenes. He's been in Lux, LUX, the UWC, and Combate. I love Combate. Combate is a great Mexican regional scene. Combate's tough, dude. That's like, in my eyes, it's the... Over here, I like the Philadelphia scene, Cage Fury, CFFC. Over there, West Coast, I like Combate. That's a tough regional scene. A lot of good fighters come out of there. Gennaro Valdez is 30 years old, as well as, well, Steamroller Matt Frevola is 31, so no real age discrepancy here. 30. He's fighting out of Entram Gym, one of 4 fighters on this card, you know, so keep that in mind. He's going to be mob deep. He's going to have the backup in the training facility, in his ringside and out back when the fighters are warming up. He's going to have mob deep. He's coming in with a team where Matt Frevola trains out of Gracie, Tampa South. I don't know anybody coming in there. I think he's the only one representing Gracie, Tampa South when he comes into this fight card. But Matt Frevola is the veteran here. He's not new to the UFC. But the thing is, he's coming off 2 wins. However, the last win, or 2 losses. My bad. I misspoke. 2 losses, and the last loss is a very bad look. He got knocked out in 7 seconds by a newcomer, I think. Terrence McKinney, I think that was his debut. Terrence McKinney made quick work of him. But Terrence McKinney is fire. He comes out hot as smoking. And I think he caught him with like a left or... He caught him with a hook. And then Matt Frevola fell, and it was ground and pound. 7 seconds is all it took. That's all she wrote for Steamroller. Got steamrolled. Before that, he lost unanimous decision to Arman Sarukian. Arman Sarukian's not, he's good, so not that bad of a loss. He's 2-2-1 in his last 5. The people he beat Luis Pena and Jalen the Tarantula Turner. Luis Pena, he beat him by split decision. Jalen Turner by unanimous decision. Before that, he had the draw against Groovy Lando Venata. That was a majority draw too. So, yeah, that very interesting. That means one judge judged it as a draw. One judge judged it as for Lando Venata. The other judge went for Matt Frevola. That's how a majority draw works. And yeah, Matt Frevola. I was looking at his Tapology. You know how you scroll down the bottom of the fighter page, and if they're known throughout, they'll have like a little Wikipedia write-up. Matt Frevola did not have that. But I went further down the page, and he's got a YouTube highlight video from and that I was like, what is this? This is a Matt Frevola highlight MMA motivation video. It was awesome. 3 minutes of awesome. It started out really slow, like it showed him on the beach with his hoodie on and it's slow music. It was going hallelujah, you know, and he's out there on the beach. I hope all you guys check it out. It's at the bottom of Matt Frevola's page on Tapology. It's a YouTube video. It says like Matt Steamroller Frevola highlights MMA motivation. And then it breaks into, off of that, it breaks into Van Hagar, not Van Halen, Van Halen with Sammy Hagar singing that song, Right Now, No Tomorrow, that, you know, that one. And that song is very kind of like upbeat, motivational kind of, and it shows him out there just doing his business back in his like early pro days on the regional scenes, just taking care of business. It was a great video. I encourage all you guys to check it out. Matt Steamroller Frevola, and that's definitely a swayed. I was kind of like, look at this dude's undefeated 10-0. But I think it pushed me over to the Steamroller side. But let's see what the cappers have to say before I make my. Well, you already know which way I'm gonna go. Whatever, I don't really care. I'm gonna fade the contender. The undefeated though, out of Mexican regionals, he's good. Don't. You know, what do they say? You know, don't put this guy to the side because he can. Matt Frevola's chinny. He can get. Look at Terrence McKinney showed that Frevola, Steamroller Frevola, is chinny. McKinney made him chinny, knocking him out 7 seconds. So, anyway, we've got. Let's see, UFC gambling addicts, Leighton taking Matt Frevola. We've got Burt taking Frevola by decision. We've got MMA Jedi also taking Frevola by decision. And then, Pub Sports Radio is split. Yes. Fight Night Pick Brothers, they're taking Matt Frevola. However, Clint, he always puts that disclaimer out there. This is a gambling show. There's value on an undefeated Mexican regional fighter, plus 150 against a chinny Matt Frevola. And he does make a good point there. Matt Frevola is chinny. So, Clint, should I write it big? He's got to split the page though. But yeah, I'll write it big. Why not? Clint from Pub Sports Radio. Clint is taking Saimon, or what, Gennaro Valdez, and so is MMA Guru, because of the chinny Matt Frevola. He thinks MMA Guru thinks it's gonna happen KO in the first round. I know he's a comedian, but he's not joking when he said that either. He pictures Matt Frevola. He thinks this is the end of the show for Matt Frevola. Sorry. And Matt Frevola is chinny. However, I think Matt Frevola, his cardio is for days. I've never seen the guy really slow. He's chinny, he can get knocked out. But I've never seen him huffing and puffing and gasping for air. And then go ahead and check out the highlight video on the bottom of Tapology. That's what pushed me over, because I was like, man, plus money on the undefeated guy. But the things going against him is Contender Series. He's a Contender Series UFC debutant. Matt Frevola's been around the UFC for a bit. And like he hasn't fought anybody at the level of the people that Matt Frevola beat Luis Pena, Jalen Turner, and Lando Venata. Lando Venata's still in the UFC. I'm not sure about Luis Pena and Jalen Turner. I couldn't tell you, but I know Lando Venata's in the UFC. He's not in the ranking because Mbe took him in the contest. Unranked, groovy Lando Venata. And Matt Frevola, you know, beat two of them guys and had a majority draw against Venata. Cardio is good on Matt Frevola. His highlight video is awesome. Right now, no tomorrow. Right now. I don't know, Sammy Hagar, Van Hagar. So I think he's gonna get it done. 10-0. I'm assuming this guy's got a durability, and I don't really. That's the thing. These guys are big question marks to me because I don't really watch the regional scenes. I don't research tape on old fighters. I'm just going by what I hear from the cappers because I don't have time to look at old tape. But I'm going to take Frevola to get it done by decision. I know it's not very exciting. I picked all these fights to go by decision, but so be it. I did take the underdog here. So anyway, to recap, time check. I've got to be over by now. Oh, just a little bit. I'm like 6 minutes over. So to recap, I've got Jasmine, Jasudavicius. What a name. Jasmine Jazzy. Jazzy Jazz to get it done. A big upset over Kay Hansen because she's bigger and she's a Olympic silver medalist in freestyle wrestling. And Kay Hansen moving up a weight class. Yeah, it's just, and it's female fight. I'm going to take Jasmine at plus 205. I think there's a lot of value there for the bigger opponent. Even though she's making her debut, she does have some fight experience. CFFC, I told you, Cage Fury, that's a good regional scene. Then I got Tony Gravely with his excellent wrestling accolades, using his wrestling experience, getting it done by decision. He's going to control Oliveira. He's going to wet blanket him against the cage and on the ground. And if he decides to stand and bang, I think he's going to outstrike Oliveira. But like I said before, Saimon Oliveira is a Contender Series guy. I don't really know that much except for 18-3 and coming off a win against Jose Alday. So, I don't know. But, and finally, I'm taking Matt Steamroller Frevola, Raviola. No, I'm only playing. Matt Steamroller Frevola to get it done over Gennaro Valdez. Be sure to check out Matt Frevola's highlight video on the bottom of his Tapology page. Very entertaining. Starts out slow. I'm gonna admit I was gonna turn it off, but then soon as the Hallelujah song stopped and first you see him like on the dock going down steps and really slow. I was like, what is this garbage? On the beach with his arms out, you know. But then the upbeat Van Halen comes on and shows him like knocking out people in the regional scenes. Awesome, great video. It pushed me off the fence to his side. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place those bets and cash those tickets. I appreciate you sticking with me through these 3 fights. I know I rambled a little bit. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. But nevertheless, fill those comments with who you think is going to win these fights behind me, or the comments yesterday on those 4 fights. Go ahead, fill the comments up. Be sure to leave a like. It helps my algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Do that because I put out content every single week, whether I'm at home or on the road. Tomorrow I will be on the road. I'll be in Boston. So I'm going to probably do a video out the hotel room. I already did the research. I've already got 3 of the 5 cappers and their picks for tomorrow's show. So I'll finish that on my way to Boston in the morning. I got to wake up super early. But anyway, Thanks for watching. Good luck on these bets, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.